are setting up stream. This time I'm just gonna confirm that everything is working properly before we go further into that stream. So I have here OBS, and let's have OBS and the stream board on the same page. So let's wait a little bit, confirm that the stream is working. We have people logging in. So let's increase the volume of my voice just a little bit. I don't want my voice to be too loud either. I hope that's the perfect sound right there. Okay, so let's start this video by, and that's already like way too loud, so let's reduce the volume of the music even further. Right here. Yeah, like 30% would be fine, I think. And I don't know if I will get as many people watching this stream than the previous one. Let's hope so. You know, this time I'm, you know, taking my time to set things up properly. The previous stream was a little bit more impulsive. Taking a sip out of my energy drink to get me ready for this stream, which is going to be quite interesting. This time I have a playlist, that way I don't have to change the music every few minutes or so. Let's do a neo fetch just for fun before we start. Clear the screen. If you have any question, I will check the chat once in a while. So I wanted to change the color of the wallpaper, so that would be SCW, change single color wallpaper. Yeah, that's it. And then I give it a color, and I want the Windows 95 color. So what I'm gonna do is anon and disown, and go to look for the Windows 95 wallpaper color in hexadecimal. I mean, if that's not an interesting title, I don't know what is. If you have better suggestion for a title, please give them to me. So that color is very cool. I love it, and it fits with my current theme. So SCW help. So please use, you know, a valid color format. So does that work? SCW followed by the hex color. Ain't that what I'm doing? Yeah, that's working. So you need to put it in quotes. So now it looks like we're on Windows 95. It will look even more like if I open a file manager, you know, calculator, make it float so it looks more like a Windows stuff, you know. But that's it for the setup of today's video. So we will go into VirtualBox. We will continue where we left off with the VM. I think I shouldn't start the title of the video with the part 2, because then people that haven't seen part 1 will think that they cannot watch this. So I think I will add it later. But yeah, you know, I could just add it at the end like this. This video is under Creative Commons, by the way, if somebody care about that. Is the stream correct? Is the streaming correct? Like, I had way more people watching this morning, so apparently streams are more popular in the morning. That's all good. This is because people watch streams while working, and now they're done working, so they watch movies and series because they're at home, and they watch these sort of things like from their work, remote work. That would be fun to know. So now I need to configure the A2, and I should probably have set up what I need to do with A2 in ChatGPT before launching this video, but at this point I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do, you know. So I had like a Firefox window open, but I think that's the one I use for streaming. But we could also use it for that, but I prefer having like a different window for that. So let's open a new anon and have it be disowned. Once you learn how to disown stuff and so on, like your life becomes way easier on the computer. Can you hear the music in the background? By the way, I'm curious. If somebody could tell me. By the way, I have a webcam. I don't activate it because, I mean, there ain't much to see. It's just my face. But if you care about seeing my face while I do these streams, I could activate the webcam. But on Linux, there's not really. I don't know if there's a good tool to remove the background behind me because I don't necessarily want the background to be visible. So that'd be cool. Otherwise, I could create it if I had time, but I don't get time for that. I got too many stuff to do. So let's start by setting up this DNS. I'm gonna open ChatGPT here. You know, chat already opened ChatGPT. That's how popular this app is now. Beautiful. So my question number one is, I did set up a also the thing that was smart is I used ChatGPT offline, not offline, but without being logged in. Like I used ChatGPT logged out, but I did save the important part here and DHCP steps, so I can just do fox DHCP steps.html, and I have all the steps here without having, you know, I don't lose them when I close the session, even though normally you would if you're not logged in. So it's a good thing to save like these instructions. So now testing the setup. Once has updated the IP address from A1, try the test internet connectivity by pinging a public service such as ping C Google. If the ping works, A2 is successful routing traffic to A1 and everything is configured correctly. If the ping does not work, check the following. So once A2 has obtained an IP address from A1, try test internet. So I think we're here. Configure A2 to obtain a DHCP lease from A1. So that was that done? IP should be within the range and you define. So once A2 has obtained an IP address from A1, so we need to confirm that A2 has obtained an IP address from A1. Okay. Do we have people logged in? We have 2 people watching already. Hey! And who is that? Right here, I'm just gonna zoom in back. Hey! Atman Halal, how are you doing? Hey, by the way, you had a question earlier, I think, about why I'm using DNS mask instead of other services. I wanted to talk to you about that. Like, what other services? Am I not using an efficient solution? Because I never done that before. I'm just following the instruction given by ChatGPT because, you know, we need to start somewhere and it's quicker. I watched some YouTube video. I do understand what the DNS is, what a DHCP server is, what is a NAT network. I have the basic understanding of like what these are because I watched a lot of videos on those. But then when it comes to the actual configuration, step-by-step guide, I find the documentation online to be quite lacking. So if you could give me your perception on that, because I think that's a very good question. I was about to ask the same question to ChatGPT. Why am I using the... But right now I think I set up the DHCP server, and now is the next step. The next step after setting that up is to just confirm that I did set it up. So in A2 here, I want to make sure that it's passing through the A1 as bridge, that the A1 is our bridge to the internet. So I'm going to reopen, I think, the steps that I'm trying to follow. So that terminal here is used for nothing at the moment. So what I'm going to do is do eval and disown. That way I can have the steps that I'm trying to follow. This terminal, I think I can close it. I no longer need it. So I have on one side the steps given by ChatGPT, and on the other side the steps that are required I follow. So I think after that we will work on the suffix domain DNS. But before that, I just want to confirm that everything here is set up properly. So we have our NAT network VM net2, and both of our machines, actually all of our machines are within it. But so I don't know why the ellipse does not encapsulate the A1 bridge in some sense, because the A1 bridge is also inside of that VM net2. But it's also connected to the internet, I think. So that's what I want to confirm. And that is the hardest part. I think I set it up properly, but now it's to test it. So the A1 bridge, see if it's working. So A2, I think it's good that we open A2 and that we look what is right now the IP for A2. And how to test if it's connected to the bridge. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how to do that right now. So I did set up a DHCP server using the DNS mask method. At least I tried. And that's on computer A1. And now I want to know the DHCP bridge, and now I want to know if the A2 computer is correctly passing through the DHCP to access the internet. Yeah, that's pretty much my question. I think I explained that correctly. YouTube must like you. You were on top of my favorite again. Would you mind giving a quick TLDR of what we're doing? Oh, that is the big question. What we are attempting to do, at least. I have no problem, because that's the only part I understand in what we're doing, which is what I'm trying to do. A DHCP server, okay, is a machine that gives IP address to your other servers, and that's it. That's all it does. So you can have, instead of using the default IP of your computer, you have another computer that assign it a unique IP and then handles the connection to the actual internet. So it's like a fake IP for your local system, from what I understand. And that's what I already tried to set in the previous video, but it's not very important to watch that video to follow up. It's just more struggle. It's going to be interesting for sure. Like, it's the first time I set up this thing, and the part I'm the most confused about is that this time we're doing that in a VM, in a virtual environment. None of this real. None of these machines actually exist. Those are our virtual machine. That's why I'm using VirtualBox right here. So that's VirtualBox. That's our 3 machines. So each of these are a separate fake computer, if you will, that have memories, that have processing power. So my computer needs to be quite good. I'm using a laptop, but the laptop is currently pretending to be 3 different computers, and one of them is running Windows, which the install on its own, I'm going to redo it in a live stream in another day, in another video. I want to show the installation of Windows 10, because that was a nightmare. That was a pain. Installing Windows was one of the most tedious tasks I ever did on a computer. That took 3 days for me, because I didn't want to use like the Microsoft account. I didn't want to create one, couldn't use the one given by the school. So it was a struggle, and all the privacy concerned with Windows. It's incredible that people still use it. It's incredible. People are just ignorant of how Windows operates, because if they knew all the things they accept when they use it, it's just, I would not recommend it to my worst enemy. Like, never use Windows for no reason. Somebody asked me earlier today, I'm gonna repeat a joke that was in the other stream, but somebody asked me the other day, like, why I use the AM PM specifier in my time display, which I removed because he told me, why don't you just look outside? I said, I can't. I'm a programmer. I'll never use Windows. So, yeah, that's a programming joke for you. By the way, I configured my system to look like Windows a little bit, and I tried to share a screenshot of it on a Linux group on Facebook, and the admin removed the post because he said it's only for Linux content. He was sure it was Windows, but it wasn't. It was actually a very customized Linux. As you can see right here, OS none. Little flex. Team is Chicago. I'm drinking an energy drink, and we will need to try to figure this out. So do I have a response from ChatGPT here? I'm gonna use ChatGPT. It's not cheating. What I'm doing is so freaking complex for somebody who has no idea what he's doing. Also, I could explain what the DNS is and what the Samba server is, but right now I just want to confirm that the A2 computer, our other Linux client here, is connected like through the internet by passing through our Debian A1 bridge. And all of these are tasks that I have to complete here as an assignment. And I thought to myself, like, if I'm gonna do this, and there's not much documentation on YouTube even on how to step-by-step complete this process. So I thought to myself, why not just live stream it? Heck, I don't know if this is confidential, but I'm not showing it all. So I'm not like sharing the file itself. I'm just trying to follow, like there's nothing private about creating this sort of server. So I don't think this is private, and I'm not giving the solution. I'm trying to do it, and my way to do it is not necessarily the best one. It's just one way to complete this. I'm not even sure I understand this drawing correctly. Like I said, this A1 machine should be within that ellipse from what I understand, and I don't know why they call it a bridge when it's actually like it's the DHCP server. Yes, it acts as a bridge to the internet, but I think a bridge would be something a bit different. Also, I have like the order in which they say I should complete stuff is also a little bit confusing. How do I change page in that PDF viewer? Like, I know when I zoom out, I can like use the wheel, but is there no other way to just like, oh, I just type the number of the page I want? Oh, that's practical. I could get used to that. I'm gonna watch the chat, making sure there's no other message, because in the last video the volume of the music was too loud. Did the playlist stop? So if I wanted to shuffle, I add S. If I wanted to repeat, I type R. C for continue, that's already on. So let's just type enter, and we should be good. That's CMOS, that's a music player, by the way, CLI music player. That's the one I used back in the day. I also have VLC just for the look of using Windows, but it's not really good. It's not like, I don't suggest VLC. I have it mostly because it allows me to watch video in full TTY, which is very cool feature, a very cool feature that you would not expect VLC to have, but it does have that. TTY is when you have only the terminal, no graphics, no desktop environment, no wallpaper, none of that. You can't even have a clipboard in TTY, but you can play video. I was watching King of the Hill in TTY, that was funny. So yeah, we will finally open a virtual machine. I dread it. You can see my hesitation. I didn't want to do that, but IPA is something important that we need to do right now to see what the heck is going on. So something's different from last time I did an IPA. I think it's saying that the internet is down. And one good way to verify that is to ping Google. So let's ping Google for time www.google.com. That's how you pronounce that, right? So 4 packet transmitted, 4 packet received. So that is very weird, because like the RIP is here, but it's not an IP that I set up, but it's also not the default IP for it. Because if you look, the previous default IP was that, and now we're having the IP here. So there's a difference in IP. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I did not expect that. That is surprise. That is quite small. I'm sorry, I cannot make it bigger, because to make that bigger, I would need to set up what is called a guest something, and we could do that. If you want the virtual machine screen to be bigger, we could take the time to set up the box guest host, whatever. But if you don't care, then we will keep it that small, because I don't care personally. It's not that long of an install, but you need to install like 4 application, and then it's a process. We could skip that process and just continue with the DHCP, which I think is the best idea for now. So we did ping Google. When I was younger, I thought that pinging a site was I understood what it was actually, but I was young. So when I started using computer on Windows at school, I would use ping, and the way I thought that worked is that it would actually send a hello or message something to the server. And I thought that somebody somewhere must respond manually to every ping request. That's how it worked in my brain. So I thought that there was an employee at Google that every time I would ping Google, he would respond manually to the ping to say like, yeah, the packets were received. And that's why I created like a bunch of scripts that would ping Google repetitively, like in a loop, pinging like 100 multiplied by 100 times. And I was trying to send like so many packets. I was like, I must be so annoying. Like there's somebody who received like a bunch of hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? To me, that's what a ping was. And it's kind of what it is, except that there's no human responding to ping. It's an automated process. And by the way, what I was doing was similar, but it wasn't. But it was similar to what you would call a DDoS attack, which is the basic of hacking. Most big hack done in the world are just DDoS attack. But I mean, with the power of a school computer, I wasn't crashing Google server, thank God. Imagine that. Now I'm looking for the Firefox page that has the YouTube, this one, streaming indirect. So that's a funny story of how I tried to DDoS YouTube, Google when I was, I don't know how young, 10 years old, 11, I don't know. Let me just take a sip of that energy drink to help me survive everything that is going to happen now. Because I need to understand how to set that IP to something that I want. Je peux pas, amour, me concentrer. Je peux pas surveiller le petit minou en ce moment. Sorry, I have kittens, and my girlfriend just launched a kitten at me, and they have claws. These little kittens, they already have claws, and that kitten just fell on the floor because I cannot supervise the kitten while I do this video, which is a shame that my girlfriend is no longer there to take care of it. But he's okay. He wasn't that high. So yeah. Sorry if the stream is boring for now, but I'm still trying to figure out like what is the next step. So now I see this, and I'm not even understanding how we have like this 127 scope host LO as that's already too many information. So I just want IPA. So BuzzyBox multi-call binary. Okay, that's not the right comment. So let's clear the screen. IPA. See, that's what I need to understand. So the LO is interesting, but we don't really care about the LO. So we don't care about that. And here is our actual IP. So our IP is correct. And we are within the scope, which is good. And forever preferred, and we ping Google. So that's working, I guess. We are receiving our IP from the DHCP, I think. And that is what I want to make sure of, because that was part of the task, you know. Verify DHCP server on A1, DHCP bridge. Check if DSN mask is running, run this command. So we could check the status of DNS mask, so that's a good idea, but that won't tell us if this machine is connected to it. But that's a good idea. We should do it regardless, because that is still a good idea. We have right now something that just appear. Okay, that's good. Let's clear the screen. We don't need to see all this. That is our DHCP server on the left, and on the right, that is our client server that connects to the DHCP server. So what I'm gonna do is, see, that's part of the process of programming. That's why it doesn't make interesting stream. The biggest part of programming is actually thinking about what you're doing. And that's boring. That's long silence. So just enjoy the music in the background. Is the music loud enough? Is the music good? So yes. So here, this is also very small. There's a way to make the font and the TTY larger. And actually, I might want to do that. Because right now it's just straining for my eyes. So yeah. And I thought that this stream would be way more interesting than the previous one, but yeah, maybe not. Status. Sudo systemctl status DNS mask. So it's active. And can we see what machine are connected to it? Not really. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna control, and that way I can. So we have that. We're not using systemd. Yeah. No, DNS, like DNS mask is running on the A1. Check the configure file. Me etc. Yeah, make sure that the range is good. It's applied. The interface is good. I'm using probably the right interface. But the thing is that the network is already within that range, so that's why I'm confused. Why I am confused is because the NAT network was already assigned to the 190.186, I think, .20.0 IP, which automatically configured the IP of the A2 and client to 190.186.20.0. And now if I take a look, what is the IP of the client? It is .4, so that's good. So .4, and now with the DHCP, the in range A2, the IP is still the 4. I ping Google from A2 and it worked. So how to know that the A2 is connected to the A1 DHCP? That's a simple question. Hard to get an answer though. Unless the network configuration you mentioned that the A2 IP is that and that the IP is the range you define for the DHCP. It's possible that A2 was either statistically configured with the IP address, or it is simply sticking with the lease it got earlier. If it had already received it before the DHCP server was active. Possible reason for this, blah 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 blah, but it does have the right IP, so hopefully that's good enough. If config, look for IP address of the interface name, blah blah, grab DHCP. So check the DHCP lease information on A2 if using systemd network manager, run this command. So that's the magical command. Let's verify that we are connected to the DHCP server. False positive ping can happen if routes aren't configured properly, but the DNS request for Google did work. The question is why and whether it's the right IP. Oh, yeah, but I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm just gonna assume that it actually worked because it worked, okay? I'm not gonna start from a false positive basis to question my reality. That is, I don't think I need to go that far. I think I should just confirm right now that I am connected to the DHCP. Also, I have this, so that's the task I'm following. That is the steps I use to complete these tasks. And I will look for a terminal that I'm not really using. So this one is for the music. I can use it for other stuff too. So let's go for, yeah, I want to go into this directory. I bet you can't change directory that fast. I'm already in my important rack information eval2. So that's a tool I made that allowed me to teleport wherever I want with just teleportation. So it's not an alias to this specific directory. I can access multiple directories that way. Yeah, I know, that's cool. It's like favorites on Firefox, but for directories. I hope everybody got that because that's very useful. Doc.md, and we want to add this now that everything seems to be configured properly. Okay, so that's for making sure. So add this step, making sure the DHCP connection is persistent through reboots. And now verifying that the A2 is connected to the DHCP server. It's fun calling it a server. It makes me think that I'm doing the right thing, that it's working. I don't know if these can be considered server yet, but sudo journal ctl use the network DHCP. I cannot copy this in the machine because I don't have the desk, not the desk, but the guest, whatever. So right now I'm just gonna move that somewhere else, like this whole. Oh, I cannot because it's a VM. They're hard to move around, like more than they should be. But if I do this, like if I do control, I should be able to teleport that. There it is. Like I said, they're hard to move around in Desktop Manager VMs. You need to disconnect your control from the VM first. So that's the command I want to type. And let's have that on the same page as our VM, which should be here, so that I can just type that. Sudo journal ctl use systemd network d monkey d luffy grep DHCP. Does that work? No, that did not work. That was a nice try. That was a nice try at seeing if we're connected to the DHCP. At some point, I'm just gonna assume I am. This will show any messages related to DHCP. Check DHCP lease on A1, DNS mask, var syslog. No, I don't care. For static IP configure on A2. It's still getting the same IP. Look for a setting like this. Yeah, you know what? I don't care that much about all this. I think that for now, for the benefit of my mental health, we will go to DNS suffix and assume that the DHCP server is set up properly. I wish there was like arrows here that I could use. Highlight text, modify text. Nope. No arrows. Like there is that wheel, but I prefer arrows. Just up, down, you know. I'm sure there's a way. Nope, no, that's not working. Like control, arrow down, arrow up. It doesn't do what I expect. Like I'm sure that there's a control to just go to the previous alt, maybe alt up. No, it's not alt. So now let's configure the suffix for the DNS. I think that's the most important thing to do right now. So name. So that is the suffix that we want to use. Okay. So to configure this suffix, let's make sure. So you can check it. A2 has received an IP by address show if the IP is within the range. Test setup. Try test if authenticated by pinging server side of Google. Traffic. If the ping does not work, blah blah. But it did. Recap key steps, blah blah. So this is done. This is done when it comes to the DHCP. Now I want steps to set the DNS suffix. I want to set a DNS suffix for first of all, I think I need to set up a server. That will be more fun. Like I think I'm done with this one. So I should probably keep it open. But what happens if I pause it? Does it still work if it's paused, or does it need to stay open to work? Can I keep it open but not have the machine window be open? Like just have it open in the background? I don't know. Virtual screen. Take screenshot. Adjust window size. I don't know if there's a way to have this server just run in the background. So pause file manager. So right now the solution I'm going to use is just to send it somewhere like this. So it run in the background. You know, it's still open, still has the window and all that. But so what do you think of the volume of the music? Is it better? By the way, I just want to know. I don't know if the volume of the music is better than it was before. So here we need to verify the DNHCP. So I'm just gonna type the ping C for google.com, which is funny. It's funny that Google is the default thing that people ping. Yeah, they're a big server. That makes sense. That does make sense. I'm not gonna argue with that. So I want to do it for what? That is a good question. Do I want to apply the DNS suffix for the whole thing? So let's go back to the steps which are here. So DNS, install and configure one server DNS. So the DNS would be a different server? Or the DNS server is the same as our DHCP? I think the DNS server would be in that case the same as our DHCP server that would handle DNS. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for that. I want to set this for my machines using a DNS server. I think that by default my A1 machine is a DNS server, since it is using DNS mask for the DHCP bridge, and I would like to configure the DNS suffix since it's a task I must complete, but do not know it's a suffix for what. I have a single suffix to set. Will it be for the whole thing, or just for the A1, or for the client connected to it? Client VM, let's specify that. Also, what I don't know is, I'm just gonna run that question, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go back to looking at the instruction. So they say I should create group for each users. But what users? What group? For what purpose? Like, it's not clear. It's very not clear. So yeah, that's all pretty much done. And we're back here. No explanation of what group should be what. Prepare the machine, install Linux, that's done. A1 and A3 get their IP through DHCP. That, I think that's what's going on. You add DNS record of type A for each machine. So yeah, so it's a DNS record of type A for each machine. So I think that's an intranet connection, since I don't think it's accessible from online. But let's take a look at what ChatGPT has given us here. So it's of type A. DNS suffix is used to automatically. So you see it's a DNS, so it's already understanding what I'm trying to do. It's usually configured DNS server so that when client requests DNS resolution for short hostname like server, the DNS server will append suffix attempt to resolve it as my server domain. So that would mean that I have like a shorter stuff and a longer stuff, and I want to connect the suffix directly to the IP, I think. But I already have a single name suffix that I need to use for both. So what I want to do here is take this suffix, nice, perfect to know that the volume is perfect. Perfect, since I had like this little I don't know what, because my girlfriend wanted to talk to me for a moment, so that's why I stopped the audio for a moment. Again, because we have like little kittens running around, and you know, they're running amok all around the house, and they always put themselves in danger. So yeah, little kittens, you know. Events, back here. I don't know what they mean. Do you understand what they mean? They mean that I should have like this suffix right here. I have a single suffix that I need to use, but they want me to apply a different suffix, different DNS record of type A for each machine. So I think the suffix and the DNS record aren't the same thing. Am I stupid to think that? Like, I think I need to give them a record of type A that I invent, and then I apply this suffix to. It doesn't even work because I have two records and a single suffix. What is the logic in that? I don't even understand what they mean. Am I stupid or what? Is that not explained properly, or am I stupid? I don't know. You tell me. Like, what do you understand here? Am I stupid? Can somebody help me? That's why I'm doing a stream. I need all the help I can get. So, okay, by the way, that's in French, so I should probably translate that for people that don't speak French. You need to to add a DNS record of type A for each machine. And then on top of that, section 6, those are the suffix I need to use. So let's ask ChatGPT first of all for what is the difference between a DNS suffix and a DNS record of type A, because I need a unique DNS record of type A for each machine, but I only got one suffix. What is this? What does that mean? Am I stupid? I don't know. For record, I have an IQ of 150 something, so that would make me in a room of like 90 some people, probably the smartest person in the room, but I'm still stupid because we have tasks like this and artificial intelligence. So, and you know, intelligence is relative. I didn't say that to show off. It's just very interesting. I think the IQ thing, it's a fascinating thing. It's not that reliable, but I mean, the test that I did take was very reliable. And it's not a single test, like it's multiple tests, which is reassuring. I mean, it's always reassuring in a world where everybody look at you like you're stupid to know that you're statistically probably smarter than most people around you. That's probably why I feel like I live in an idiocracy. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? Good movie. Great movie. Highly recommend. Very good movie. I would not recommend otherwise than for you to watch the movie Idiocracy right now. It is such a great movie. Such a great movie. Highly recommend. And that's how you know that I have a USA sticker on my laptop. I'm not saying whatever political opinions, just saying like to me this flag represents like the concept of individual freedoms, and we don't really have a good symbol for that other than that. So, you know, that's how I see it. You might see it differently. Like that's the thing with symbols, everybody can see them in their own way. What do you think of this wallpaper color? Ain't it great? I love it. I should probably create like a bar at the bottom, but right now I set up this wallpaper just with a single hex color, which is freaking amazing. I don't know if I made this tool available to the public yet. I think it's with one of my tool, move background something on GitHub. So we can go look on my GitHub for that. So if you type Amos, what happens on the interweb? So you have my GitHub on top, which is good. I'm a big fan of that. I think that's a very good thing. Then you have my personal website. So always cool to Google your username. MBG, and you have the option here, right there. So that's the tool. SCW is the tool that take hex value and apply it as a wallpaper on your Linux machine. You're welcome. That is totally free for you to use. By the way, when you animate this wallpaper, it looks freaking cool. So I suggest that you do get my script MBG and you run it on this wallpaper. Use the config you like. Default config looks nice. Maybe with a delay of 1 second just to test it. That's my recommendation. Also, the task script now comes with this other utility status, which is nice. Also with my BSPWM RC, so that it's all, you can just place that and it's just gonna work. It should, at least if you're on BSPWM, otherwise just ignore that file. HIG right now, highlight tool, very cool tool. Just wanted to share that. And why was I here? Yeah, just to show the SCW here file. You can just copy it, paste it in a text file. Don't load it as raw. Works both way works, which is good that both works. My website, if you never seen it before, I have a video about it. My last blog is about programming, creative code. I recommend that you go read it, or you can just click on this button to have the awful text-to-speech read it for you. My itch.io page, Muse, is one of my last project. Very cool synthesizer that doesn't actually generate sound file, but I give you the code to then use the library that comes with it to have the sound generated in your program, so that you can generate sounds instead of storing actual sound file, which save memory and make your program even better. What else do we have when we Google Amos Nimas? We have my YouTube channel that you're on right now, my CV, which needs to be updated. It's a lot of outdated, but yeah, it's just saying that I know stuff. CoinChase, love that project. I hope you've played it, and now it comes with the CoinChase Snake Edition, which you could argue is more fun because, you know, there's a twist, you're a snake. So same game mostly. The Pix Sprite Editor on Reddit, that one, that one is good. That's like Paint but for the terminal. Very cool. I must on TikTok. Let's skip that one. Amos Nimas, that GitLab. Like, I used to have a GitLab. Stopped using it. Hacker News profile Amos Nimas. Is that me? Probably. I don't know. So we have music, and we have a display page. But display right now, they're taking so long to approve my art, so it's not there. Yeah. So by Amos Nimas, I completed recently 2 amazing artwork that are way better than these ones, but displayed. Okay, and we are back. Oh, did I stop the music? I don't know if the music was stopped for this short interstices. I don't know. Let's read that. What we have. So the volume is perfect. For me, the domain suffix is part of the zero conf suite, where a machine on domain local say, hey, my name is Bob, and every zero conf configured host on that network goes on your Bob domain.local. On the other hand, an A record is a record on a DNS. Why do I have two music playing? Oh yeah, that's because the other music was playing through the CMOS music player. So I don't need this media to play. So I'm trying to understand what Bergeron is telling me. So on the other hand, a record is a record on a DNS server, and it's more authoritative. I think the latter has precedence over the former, which means that it would like bypass it, like replace it. So one make the other one pointless. What? I ain't a DNS expert. Yeah, me neither. Apparently, me neither. DNS always was a pain in my previous project. Static IP and rsync the host. But your assignment probably isn't about zero conf. Zero conf are for game console, printer, and casual network. So, but there is a printer part to this project. I'm just not I haven't talked about it yet because we aren't there yet. But very interesting feedback. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is a pain. DNS. I set them up before. Right now, the part that I'm confused about is the specific assignment, because I have multiple server. I have multiple websites using URL. So I did configure DNS before, but this is not the same type. Like it is, because type A, I know what it is, but this DNS suffix combined with the other DNS stuff, it just doesn't click in my brain. And no matter how many video I watch on this topic, it doesn't help me understand further. So it's funny because I always lose viewer every time I open the ChatGPT window. So one thing that would be smart to do is just, I don't know, it'd be cool to be able to access this without being on the ChatGPT page. So yeah, my eyes are bleeding right now because of this theme. So I really need a Tart theme for that. Real quick, apply this. And can I just refresh the Firefox page, or do I need to clear? Did I lose everything? I lose everything. Okay, so, but that's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. Let's go back to Kitty and use that page to say anon and this on. So that's good that it closed. That way we can start over in dark mode. Because my eyes were bleeding. I hope yours weren't, but white mode, it just burns your eyes right off. But it'd be cool if I had like a tiny gray bar at the bottom right now. I can add that quite easily actually. I don't even know why I don't just do it. Do you want me to add a little gray bar? It's so simple. So I just go with Google Color Picker. First of all, need to pick a color. Let's go with some kind of grayish like this. I like this kind of gray is just beautiful, kind of ugly, you know. So I copy this. And I'm going to go into my, I'm just procrastinating right now because, oh, I don't want to work with that thing. And it lets my brain breathe a little bit. I had a lot of difficulty pronouncing that. So if I go here to my status bar, here it's set to transparent. And that is good. So I'm just going to keep how many 0 it is for transparency. It's already there. I'm so smart. I already did that before and I forgot. So just paste this beautiful color here, refresh that page, and now it looks ugly because it's a partial bar instead of going across the screen. But there's an easy fix for that. Let's just copy this part. Keep this one transparent actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So that's the transparency. And here, let's uncomment that and say we want to take the full width of the screen. By default that would be just 35, right? I think it ain't working. So 35x, we're getting there, 900. What is going on? Okay, I did not expect that. Sorry for a moment. So that would be 300x 30 plus 0 plus 0, right? So let's refresh that. We're getting there. We're getting there. So instead of 300 here, let's go with this. And what happens if I just want the full width? I need my screen width, right? So echo screen width. That won't work on your system, by the way. Just warning you in advance. So now if I refresh, boom, we have our XP style bar at the bottom, but the color of the text is it ain't really. Okay. So now, like this color, I thought it would be prettier, right? But it ain't. So something maybe a bit brighter to look more like XP. Yeah, no, I'm so procrastinating right now. I don't know what the stream think about that. So I'm far-sighted to, so personally light mode is better because our eyes perceive black on white better than white on black. Night light, aka blue filter, red tinted mode makes light mode more readable. Ouch. I hit my head on the microphone. Interesting. But your assignment probably isn't about, yeah. So yeah. But it's just for the there's only one application that I put in dark mode mostly, and it's the Firefox, and now I can bring it back to Windows XP or Windows Chicago, which is 95. Let's go with 95 so that everything match. And I think that for the color I won't overcomplicate it, so this one is just gonna be black. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I do know my hexadecimal, which makes me not that dumb, you know. So here, if I want to make that lighter, one thing I could do, if I want to make it lighter on the yellow axis, I want to make it lighter for these two here. So how about AA, and I refresh that. That worked. I think that colors works nice. Now we have like this retro style bar with our background, which should look a lot like Windows 95. We just don't have icon on the desktop. And can I place icon on the desktop? I think I can. Can I? No. On BSPWM, can you place icon on the desktop? How do I test that? No, because I already have stuff on my desktop and I don't see them here. So apparently you can't. That's one mystery solved for today. So we have ChatGPT here ready for our DNS question. So let's go back to this. I have a single DNS suffix that I need to use on a NAT network, and I need to configure two DNS A type record on that on the client connected to the DHCP server on that network. And I'm gonna be more specific and just give ChatGPT the exact assignment that I have. So, you know, something like that. And I'm also going to steal the part right here where it's telling me like that I need to use suffix. Each candidate must use the following things, so suffix. Yeah, and let's go with that. So let's see if I'm right. by which I mean if I don't understand anything, or if I understood something. Okay, so let's read. That's always fun to do. I'm not gonna read. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have ChatGPT read for us. Because why not? Do you prefer me to read or ChatGPT? I do like the voice I gave to ChatGPT. So yeah. So for configure, okay. So it's in French. Actually, I can understand French. Do you speak French? Are there people here who don't speak French? If so, I'm gonna translate it to English. Otherwise, I'm gonna read it in French. So you open the console, DNS manager. Where is that? So first of all, where is the DNS manager? Is it on the... so that's a zone. Okay. Select a new host A for first record name, machine 1, address IP, blah blah. So the DNS manager, where is that? And reload the DNS with name zone system reload name. Machine 1, machine 2. So those are the type A record, I think. And that would be like the location. So for example, look up machine that. Okay, well, I'm just confused about the first step. I'm already confused at the first step. So the first step said you need to open. Savez-vous que les deux suffixes DNS est bien inclus dans les options DHCP? Watching now, I speak French. No idea about the other guy. Yeah. But still, even in French, it doesn't help me. The client connect to your server. Assurer que le suffixe DNS est bien appliqué. Cela peut être fait via le serveur DHCP ou manuellement sur chaque client. Si vous utilisez un serveur DHCP pour fournir les configurations réseau au client, assurez-vous que le suffixe DNS est bien inclus dans les options de... Ok. Alors, le suffixe DNS. I am using the DNS mask for the DHCP. Does that mean that the DNS suffix is configured in the DHCP? If not, how to edit the config of the A1 machine, virtual machine, VM, to add that DNS suffix to it. Also, you talked, si vous configurez manuellement sur un client Windows, par exemple, non, je ne suis pas sur un client Windows, vous devez maintenant configurer deux enregistrements de type record. Imaginons que vous avez deux machines avec le nom suivant. Machine sur réseau NAT. Voici les étapes suivantes. Exemple, prenant compte. En prenant compte du fixe de domaine et les enregistrements pour la machine. Sur le client, connectez-vous à un serveur DHCP. Eh bien, appliquer cela peut être fait via le serveur DHCP manuellement sur chaque client. Or do I need to set the DNS suffix on a client-based on each client one by one? Also, I was talking earlier about something that I found weird. It said about like bind for server Linux, for example, in the file configuration, DNS belait ajouter the following line. So, okay, so for the terminology, let's A1 is the DHCP VM and A2 is the client VM. I want to so depuis le client utiliser le serveur DNS, ouvrir la fenêtre de commande du terminal et exécuter la commande suivante. So we're not there yet. Let's see the chat. If there's something new. No. Okay. So the part question internet avancée. Si vous utilisez un serveur DHCP sur le shell, connectez-vous à votre serveur DHCP. Okay, I think that's good for our current question to move forward. And we have two options of response. Since you're using DNS mask for DHCP, you can indeed configure the DNS suffix in the DNS mask configuration file. This will apply the DNS suffix to all the clients receiving DHCP leases. Oh, that's what I was looking for. And at the same time, it's going to confirm that the DHCP server is connected through the client, because it's going to tell me that the suffix was applied. If I'm able to apply the suffix from the DHCP server, that means that this DHCP server is working as it should. And that will automatically erase every false positive of connection test that I did earlier with ping. That's awesome. So configure the DNS suffix and DNS mask. Is it the DNS mask configuration file usually located in act blah blah? Yeah, that's where it is. Depending on your system setup, add the following line to specify the DNS suffix. So that is the line that we're looking for. This tells DNS mask to send the DNS suffix as part of the, and then I need to restart the DNS mask. Verify the DNS suffix on the client. So that's going to be fun, but that is simple. That is so easy. So let's go with that. That is my magical solution for now. So I already sent, I think, to, I call this North Pole. North Pole is like my furthest workspace. When I send stuff there, it's just that I want that stuff to exist, to be open on my system, but I want it to be in the background, as far remote as possibly humanly possible. So like currently it's using my team, but let's see if we have like a team that is not too dark, but not too light either. But I don't know, can we customize? How far can we customize Firefox team? I don't know. So we have 2 people watching. Hey, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this sort of weird content where we do very specific, complex tasks that I didn't see nobody else actually complete this specific task on YouTube. Otherwise, I would just have followed that tutorial and I would have been done with my assignment. But, you know, how things go. I need to test stuff and see if it works. So step one, I like this version. Actually, I think that was the simpler, shorter, because this is a lot of step. I don't care if it works. I prefer the shorter, more simpler response. So I add this line and I'm good. So nano etc. Can I remember it by heart? I'm not even gonna look at the file path, and I'm just gonna, and I had it first try. So I just need to add DHCP option equal 15 and the name of our suffix. So I'm gonna save that. Permission denied because I am stupid, and as a stupid person I make stupid decision, including forgetting to type sudo before my command when I'm trying to edit. I should be logged in as root. I should just type su and connect as root, but you know, I'm so used to having like all the root access on my computer from my main user that, you know, because my main user on my main computer has a lot of authority. But you see, I forgot, last time I did that, I forgot to add the comma. So it's a blessing in disguise that I forgot to type sudo last time, because right now I placed this tiny little small comma right here. Let's make that larger. This comma right here, I had forgotten it. So did I spell that correctly? It seems that I did. Save, exit, and now don't forget that I need to document all the steps I take. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget them, and that's also why I'm making these videos, so that if I forgot to document a step, I can just go back, watch these long, hour-long video, and make sure I didn't forget anything. So bash, I think that's the one. Is that the documentation one? I don't care. No, it is. Duck.md. I hope it's not open twice though. It'd be smart to just make sure that I don't have it open on two terminal. How many terminals do I have open? So I have only these two terminals open. So okay, that one's the correct one. So nano duck.md, and let's go down here and take a look at. We are at this step, so we did ping for the connection, and it'd be smart to add DNS suffix to the DNS mask. You know what? I didn't know why I was using DNS mask instead of other services, but now I know. It is instinctive to have a single place where you can handle all your DHCP connection and DNS connection all at once in a single file. I like that. I think that if I was to redo something like that, DNS mask is the way to go. It wasn't that hard. Once you understand the basis of using DNS mask, I could reuse it, you know, all day long. I could create this sort of server once I'm used to it, you know. It's just the first time. It's scary, you know. You don't know what you're doing. You're scared. So the comment here that you want to add, it's not here. So I'm just gonna go with DHCP option equal. Was that an equal 15, I think? And then you have like the suffix. There it is. In my case, it's not just suffix, but it's the actual suffix that I used. Suffix being, and now I want to open the events, copy my suffix that was assigned. There it is. For this example, the suffix being, that's good. So that's good documentation. And it's always good to take a look at what your documentation look like once in a while, so that you're not lost. So pendoc.md, and we're gonna send the output to doc.html, because that is our documentation after all. And now we can use fox doc. Let's just change the color first. Doc.html, because by default the color are going to be very ugly. So what you want to do is going to create a head here, and that's good practice. Head, and now you can add a style. Nobody code like that anymore, but it's fun that you can. And you want to do like body. Let's set the body to be here. Nobody code HTML like that anymore. So sad. Wish more people would. Body, and it's been a while since I haven't coded in. Is that how you code in CSS? I don't know. So it's gonna be color equal. Let's go with for the text 111111, and for background color, let's go with. I think that's valid. 221123. How cool is that of a color? And that should work. So fox.html. It did not work, which is interesting. That did not work because CSS. I just want an example of CSS code. If I can just see any type of, I forgot the space. That might be the reason. So style would be that for the body. Background color, color equal. I forgot also the end of these lines. So that might have been the main reason. So now we have this. Also, I don't like the white. It's too white. So let's make it, nothing wrong with that, but you know, a little bit too intense. So AA, BB, I don't know. That should be fine. Ain't that a cool theme? Like, on the top of my head, I came up with this color scheme, and it's amazing. I love it. Once you know hexadecimal, you can create such great color scheme so easily, and also a little bit of color theory. So that is my what it looks like so far. What I have for the information documentation. So step 6 is very important. We have step 2 somewhere in there, I think. Yeah, right here. So for some reason it's on the same, like it's all crammed together. So I'm gonna, you see, that's why I want to preview it, see what's going on. You might also want to make the style separate so you can reuse it. But yeah. So we did that, we added the suffix, and that should be done for what we need to do with this machine. No, with this machine. So now we need to reboot it. So sudo systemctl, we need to restart the DNS mask services. That went well, and now we go on the second client. I don't know if we need to reboot the client, but on Linux client run cat ect resolve config. So I'm gonna move that with the client, which should be on some desktop near here. There it is. I no longer need that. Let's move that out of the way and look for this line right here. So cat etc resolve.conf, and so you can see the domain is still ht home. So search, you should see something like this. So search is not being applied correctly, I think. Name server, your DNS server. Can replace this line. DHCP from ET0. So okay, so A2 is telling me that it's generated by DHCP CD from ET0, but my DHCP server is on the interface PD something. What was the how do I get the name of the interface? It's somewhere around here. So ENP0S3, ENP0S3. So ENP0S3. Also the A2 domain is ht.home, and name server is 192.168.20.1. The IP of the VM DHCP VM is 192.168.20.4. Five, I think. Yeah, I think. I think that the 192.168.20.1 might be the NAT network. Yeah, so let's go with that. Thank you for the additional detail. Based on your information, here's what I understand and what could happen. What could be happening. A2, the client VM, is using DHCP on ETH0, but is getting DNS information pointing to blah 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 blah, which seems like the DNS server on the NAT network, likely from DNS mask server on ENP0S3. The DHCP server on your A1 VM is running on doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and A2 is getting a DNS server of doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and A2 domain is set to ht-home, which suggests that DHCP lease is configuring a default search domain for ht, not the intended. So first of all, before I read all of this, I'm just gonna, because I have this line added. On A1, I already have the line in my DNS mask file. Might I need to just reboot the A2 machine. Because you see, most of the problem you have in networking just requires you to reboot a server. That's a fact of life. That's just a fact of life. When you have problems and you're doing some networking, try rebooting. Yes, if you already have the blah 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 in your DNS mask, configure a file on A1. You may just need to restart the A2 machine or renew the DHCP lease on A2 to pick up the updated configuration. Here's a checklist of what to do. Restart the DNS mask on A1 if you haven't already. I have already tried that, but I could do it again. Renew the DHCP lease on A2 to ensure that A2 receives the new configuration. You can renew the DHCP lease. There are a few ways to do this. At the speed I'm reading, I think you can see that I drank an energy drink today, and it's working. It's a lot of work, damn. This assignment, it's a lot of work. Reboot A2, simply reboot A2. Yeah, I'm gonna go with option 2. Thank you. I'm gonna pick option 2. Thank you. I don't think I made any change here, so I don't need to take a new snapshot, but you know, I'm a paranoid person. So what I'm gonna say is about to reboot safety snapshot. I am paranoid as heck. Okay. Just wait for the snapshot to be taken. Click. Click. Click, click, click. I'm making the sound effects. By the way, I have an amazing tool for making sound effect that you can find on my itch.io page. Close this. Do I save the machine state? No, because I want a hard reboot this time. Let's see how fast this client can reboot, because I'm telling you, the Puppy OS is heck of a fast. It is fast. It is like faster than the Flash. Like more fast than fast. I think I didn't reboot it. I just closed it. So I will need to now open it. So did I save this? Exit. Oh, and I think I forgot to restart the DNS thing once I fixed it. Maybe that's my fault. But now that we can just restart it and see how it's going. Sorry for the small pause. So where was I? Rebooting the new machine. So we have a machine here. That is good. I want to have a machine A2. We want to power it on. Let's see how quick it boots. Quicker than Windows, I can already tell you that. So a lot of terminal stuff that I don't take the time to read. There should be a way to slow that down to be able to read every single one, because when I open my computer I still have some error displaying, memory error, and I don't have the time to read them, that it just rushes through them and open the computer. I have a very cool bootloading animation that I made in Blender, and it's working with, I forgot the name of the file that allows you to change the boot animation, but it's not that hard to do when you're rising your computer. That's one of the first things you should change, because it really does make a big difference. So it's already open, and it's only using like a quarter of the power of my computer. So fussy puppy, whatever. Whoa, that was loud. That, whew, please don't yap at me. Stop yapping. That was loud. So now I want to, I cannot use the last command I was using, but let's just retry the command I had. So I want to be able to move that, but I don't know where it was. Here it is. And I want to see the cat something. Yeah, this line. Cat etc resolve.conf. It is is working! It is working! Of course, our main server here, for some reason we're not getting the IP I wanted, but it's still working. It's valid. It's completely valid. Can't replace this line. Oh, that is so cool. We have the domain, baby. Okay, so domain is set. Domain is set. Okay. We're rushing through this. We're gonna complete this assignment sooner than I expected. I'm just gonna set up the A record. Maybe create a small web page because that's always fun. And that's the funniest part. That's the part that I like the most when we create a small web page. You know, actual web development. That's the fun part. That's the creative part. So that's what I'm gonna do. And after that, that's gonna be the end of the video. But for now, let's focus on, like, we have the, okay, so domain on machine A2 is set to, now I need to set a unique DNS type A record for it. It didn't specify what DNS record to give it, but I want to try also this. So ns lookup, it doesn't have the machine 1 stuff, so that's probably from above. It probably already had that. How to set that up? It's probably just near here. I probably already asked that question, but I should probably ask it again. So see, this is from adding record and DNS mask. Add the A type record. So I can also do that from the DHCP server. That is so easy. That is easy. This tells DNS mask to resolve machine 1 TLD to and machine 2 TLD to their respective IP. So that is cool. That is cool. I don't think even think that I need to have this machine open for that. So let's take a snapshot. So that is suffix DNS suffix configured. Consider that a success. Success! Yay! Save that. Just take another snapshot because I'm a paranoid person. And even if you take snapshot, if the VM itself gets corrupted, you lose everything. And right now I'm just working with both Linux VM, but I have also a Windows VM that I need to configure with Samba on this same network. That's gonna be fun. So let's save the state for now. I don't want to reboot it. It's already connected as I want. I'm just gonna set up the address and then I'm gonna have to reboot it. I told you, in networking, if you don't know what to do, just reboot. Just reboot everything. Nobody cares. When I say nobody cares now, I always have the image of Dr. Robotnik played by Jim Carrey. That's like, nobody cares. That's my personal meme. Okay, so the main matching, blah blah. Everything's working. I just need now to add this blah 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 somewhere around here. This thing. By the way, I don't think there is any single programmer on this planet that thinks he is stupid. I think that programming makes you think you're smart, no matter how bad you are at programming. Just doing programmation. It's like playing chess. No chess player in this world think that they're stupid. They don't. They are playing chess. That's how I see the world, at least. That's how I see the world. So yeah, let's go back to this. I like that there's only one file to configure for all of this. All of this was just configuring one file. You know, I took a month. It took me a month just to configure one file. Now that I know it, how easy would that have been? Now that I know how to do this, could have completed this in one day. All of this assignment could have been done in a single day. I'm taking way too long to complete all this. Now I feel stupid. That's the other thing. Every programmer on this planet think they're stupid. At least they should, because yeah, that's how I feel about programming. It makes you feel like a stupid genius, you know. So I want to move that here along with the VM, so I can just see on one side the code that I'm trying to type. And the code that I'm trying to type is somewhere around so much stuff. But I'm looking for... The important part is this thing right here, and this thing like right here with restart this. So I should add them right now to my documentation. So that part was added successfully, I think, and restart was, I think, also added successfully to my documentation. Let's just make sure of that. And insert DNS mask, IP, check the thing, suffix, and now just restart. Yeah, I forgot the step about restarting, which is an important step. And restart the DHCP server service, more specifically the DNS mask system CTL, I think, service with that command right here. I think that's clear. We don't need the end, actually. Today I was thinking about like good code. What is good code? And you know, there's way to format function that I just think are not valid. They work, but they are so bad, so unreadable. So yeah, and now we have the address stuff. Let's test it first and then put it into the documentation. So this line, I cannot copy it. I need to type it, but I have the reflex to just copy it as if I can just paste it there. Also, this takes me more time. If I had taken the time to set up a good pathways between my clipboard and Xclip, maybe I would have been able to do this quicker, but I didn't. So we are stuck at that step. 192.168. Is that it? 192.168. Yeah. 20. Why is it that one that something? No, it's that 20 that the server number 2, its name is 3, I think. I know it's confusing, but I think it is. That's why I think it should stay open. Is it still open, or did I close it? I think I closed it, but it might be good to have it open, just to be able to ask it question, like what it's. Actually, I don't need it to be open to see its IP. Close it back. I should have just paused it. You know, not the best call. This would be what there's message here. The kernel error with to debug a whoa, that's zooming too much. A little bit of delay on my computer right now because I'm streaming all this. It just keeps zooming. Okay, so isn't there some tool to test DHCP and DNS without needing to set up a client for DNS? There sure is, probably. I know that the bind server comes with some tool like dig, but I don't know for what is bind. What is bind server? Tell me about that, please. That would be in TM messages and system or whatever. But for now, it's working. For now, I do have my confirmation that the DHCP server is set up. But please tell me what is this bind stuff you're talking about. You're referring to. What am I even trying to do now? I did open, I think, the other VM, but then I closed it back because I don't actually need it. I can just go here and close that, save, and say echo, and A2 IP, and it's 4. Okay, so it is 4. It's supposed to be 4 at least. I don't know if it's actually 4. I think it's 6, which is weird because it's supposed to be 4. So let's say it's 6, because I think that's what it was. It changed because it's passing through this DNHCP server. It was 4 on the NAT network, but now it's 6. I know, a bit confusing. So instead of machine 1, let's call this A2 because that's the name of the machine. And that seems beautiful. And now it would need to do the same thing for the window stuff. But restart DNS mask, so that's an easy step. I'm just gonna restart. We have an error. We have an error. For DNS message. So you see there is a way to debug here as the message service. You weren't wrong about that, but I don't take the time to read those because I'm just gonna try to guess what the problem is. So A2 instead of machine 1. Did I skip a step? That's probably why. So resolve on A2. You should see something like this. Yes, I did. Okay, so adding a record address equal machine whatever with the IP. So let's try now the actual IP, which was something I printed earlier. I think it's number 3, right? So I want the A2 IP. It's 4. So let's try to actually make that work. So 4. I don't remember what is the key to paste. I think it's U on the default nano config. And now we set that up after we set the DNS for it. So menu option, yep. So, but I think that would work here. So we have like, since they are together, you know. So first we set the DHCP for the A2 machine, then we set the address for the A2 machine. That makes a lot of sense to me. So now we quit that and we try to restart all the system. We're still getting an error. We're getting an error. I don't know what the error is, but we will find a solution. I'm sure it's a stupid mistake that I make. Like it could be just that backslash before the A, or is that needed? I think it's needed. But what if I removed it? Would it work? It's on pretty much every Linux package. What your distro, by the way, from your NeoFetch, I guess LFS. What do you mean, my my distro on this on my host or on the virtual machine? I guess you mean on my host, since that's the one I showed. It's not Linux from scratch. Let's be honest about that. It's based on Ubuntu. Why? Because I like Debian-based system, and I have an NVIDIA card, so basing it on Ubuntu was just simpler for that. Less worry about driver updates, and it's just a very customized Ubuntu system at the core. So yeah, Ubuntu LTS, it's the core, and it's been modified a bunch. As you can see, it's not the default. I didn't just change the wallpaper, as you can tell. But I also did change the wallpaper. But if you want to know like what I'm using within the virtual machine, that's Puppy OS. I don't know if you've tried it before. Very nice distro. Very useful, since it's quick to install, takes small size. Like I'm pissed because I don't have that much memory. You can see I almost use all my memory at the bottom of the screen. Here you can see I use like almost 100% of my memory on my computer. And Windows right now is taking like more than 20 gigs. The Windows VM is taking more than 20 gigs of memory on my hardware computer. And that pissed me off that I'm forced to have this VM. If it was only Linux, I could find ways to optimize this memory bloat, but all the Windows bloat is just too much to quickly remedy. So that's a pain. That's a big pain. And the install was even worse. That's gonna be a video at some point. I just need to complete this assignment, and as soon as it's done, I will do an install of Windows 10 and show how painful it is to do and why it is so stupid. So what is wrong here? I don't get what's wrong. Am I dumb? Okay, so where we might need to take a look at. So the system status won't really help me, I feel, because if it's online, it's online. If it's not, it's not. I don't care, because I'm gonna need to restart it regardless. So see, it's just active, but it failed exit core, but it is active. So the other thing it told me to look at is journal, CTL, XCU, DNS mask, that service, and we have no entry here. So that is very helpful. That really helped me. Now we go here and see what is wrong with this. So I think it'd be smart at this point in time to see like option 6. I think I'm assigning it this DNS thing here. So I think that's what I'm doing. I'm giving it this IP. So now it should be that IP instead. So 20.6.192.168.26. That should work. So now if I restart, it still doesn't work. Okay, so by the way, I am using DHCP option equals 6 new IP on does and when I look at the IP for the A2 client, it's new IP. Does that mean that I should use the new IP to refer to the address of the type A DNS? That's a lot of DNS on top of DNS on top of DNS, like lot of DNS. DHCP option 6 DNS specify the DNS server that should be provided to the DHCP client. In your case, you're setting DHCP 6, meaning that A2 and all other clients will use new IP as their DNS server. This is not related to the DNS suffix option. Which is used for new DNS server. So, for example, if new IP is something like 5 is the IP, but I'm trying to set the address, but in the DNS mask, I am trying to set the A record using address equal A2 dot that would be the suffix slash IP. What IP should I use? You see, because there's a lot of IP at this point. I'm getting lost in all these IPs. I see you're trying to configure a record in DNS mask using the following format. Yes, I am. Never tried Puppy. I started with Debian, then jumped on Arch, and finally settled on Gen 2. Oh no! No, not Gen 2. What's your distro? Yeah, I explained that. However, when it comes to server and secondary workstation, I'm more of a BSD guy. Never actually tried BSD. I'm gonna be totally honest. Not a lot of people use BSD, but I like the programming format of BSD code. It's cool. It's a cool programming format. Like if you look at BSD function, functions format. They have like this way of writing function, and I'm just looking for an example style. You see, style 9. So they have a style of function, and it's probably explained here, but in brief, that's the BSD format, I think. So you have like, you know, one of the curly brace after the function name, and then you close it right here. So that is pretty much, I think, you have all the explanation on how you should formulate your code, which is good that they have that. But other than that, when it comes to using the actual system, I couldn't tell. Personally, I want to use TempoOS more. That is one thing that I just don't get the time to do, because I can't really use TempoOS and be a productive person at the same time. But I want to learn it more. I want to create cool program for TempoOS. So the IP, what to use in a record? The reason, so want to resolve to A2 IP address. You need to specify A2 IP in that record. But how to get, so I'm specifying, you need to add the following line. Address is, assume that AP, yeah, so I really need A2 updated IP, so current IP. And to get that, I have no other option than just to reopen VirtualBox and relaunch the A2 machine again, and take a look at its latest IP, which is this name server. So no, that is not, that is the name server. That's why it wasn't working. Its IP is inet. What? Where is the IP? What? I'm lost. Okay, so we have our IP here. So it is there. Just maybe took a time to get it. So it is 4. It is still 4. So let's use 4. 192.168.4. So I had the right IP. Why not working? Why not working when I have the right IP here? I tried it with 4. It ain't gonna work. TLD, yeah, but then I try to run it and it just doesn't want to work. So DHCP option 15 right here, that's done. Define the DNS server. Okay, so I should define the DNS server after it. So it's done as 6th, and that is completely fine as 6th. I don't need to change that. Address A2 and that. So I wish I could just copy this and send it to ChatGPT. What I'm gonna do is use one of the more advanced feature of ChatGPT and try to, you know, take that and whole section and call this WTF and try to, I cannot give it, because I need to be logged in. Okay, so I'm gonna need to use my own personal Jesus and upload a file. Upload a file. Recent. What a F. There it is. So, and I want to send it. And it's probably gonna be able to figure out what is going on. It looked like you're having issue with DNS mask failing to start up. The error usually means so spelling in config. So there might be a spelling mistake here, but what could it be? Address is 2D. It's for real. So much debugging that could have been avoided. Oh, for real. Is that a spelling issue? A spelling issue. Yeah, of course it is. Oh, damn it. Address with 2D. Just because I don't know how to spell. And let's try that. It is working. Why is it working? Oh, damn. But I'm going to try something different. Since it's working, let's try to make it make sense. So we have our range here. We have then maybe some comments would be nice. So interface, I don't know what to say, like specify this. The range, so range of IP under that DHCP server that will be distributed. Also, here we have like DHCP option 3. What is that? What is DHCP option 3? Okay, there it is. Yes, that was a spelling mistake. My bad. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Let's just make sure I type that properly here. Sudo start restate DNS mask. But before we do that, let's add the information about the last step that we just did, which is right here. Doing because this is IP for our DHCP server. Is unique, configure the default gateway for IP. What is a gateway? The number 2 corresponds to the DHCP option for router, default gateway, and DHCP protocol, and the value you provide is an IP address for the default gateway. What is the difference between option equal 3 and option equal 6 when 6 is the IP for the DHCP server, right? And I'm quite curious to know, like, once I'm running this, what is my IP on this machine? So option 3, option 3 is provide the default gateway router for the client. This is the IP address that client will use to reach the destination outside their local subnet, like the internet, other network usage. If you want all clients to use the same default gateway, typically the router for your network, here's option 3, your DNS mask setting. So this tells all clients that to use as their default gateway. I don't know, well, why gateway? On the client will route all non-local traffic, internet traffic to this IP address. It directs the client on how to reach internal destination, anything not within the local network. Okay, so basically this option 6 is the address for the local network, and the option 3 is the address of the internet, right? Am I getting that right? Not exactly. Let me clarify for you. Option 3 defines the default gateway or router for client. This is the IP address that client will use to send traffic to destination outside their local network. Home office network, the default router device responds for routing traffic between your local network and external networks, such as internet. So I think that's important. Because that allows me to configure the type of router I want, I think. And there is one type of router that is specified into the evaluation, which is this commutator. But a commutator is the same thing as a router, right? IP extern internet. I think I'm doing this right. I think I'm doing this right. So that's done. That is good. Virtual machine 2, that is good. Firefox. So yeah, our router IP for internet access, gateway router IP for internet access, yeah, then the server, suffix, location, like, and the option 6, this tells client to use as the DNS server. Not 6, option 15 is for the location, suffix. I wonder what, like, how they call it. Like DNS, they find the suffix for the resolved local hostname. So, okay, I need to sign up for more. Stay logged out, and we can get our answer. Yes, exactly. Domain suffix, DNS masking used to specify the domain search suffix for the DNS client. This option tells the client to append specific domain suffix unified hostname they try to resolve. So, yeah, just a suffix that it adds at the end and allows you to get, like, it could be .com on your personal domain or .whatever you want. Actually, it could be .your name. That's just a way that you say, on this network, I'm looking for this machine on this network. Once you get that, it's not that hard to understand. Suffix, so server, how do you call that? The so the suffix is a bit like a local domain extension. Yeah, right. Am I stupid? Let's see. If it's a yes, I'm right. If it's a no, I'm stupid. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, so server extension, local extension. That makes sense. And now we add another line here. Did I lose it? What have I done with it? It's there. Okay. So address, very important that we keep that. Just put a comment on top of it and specify that this is to set the A record for the A2 computer to A2 dot TLD, and that will be linked to the IP for A2 VM, for the A2 VM. So far that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense actually. And since I already know the IP for the other server, let's go with A3 is the same for A3 here. Let's save that. And let's just confirm that because I want to make sure of that. Echo, not echo. So A3 IP. A2 IP? It works, but I don't have the IP for A3, but I think it's the same. So let's just take a look at the aliases if it's set. That bash RC. Might be something different. Let's just look at the bottom of it. So A3 IP should be 3. Yeah, so it's there. It's okay. I don't want to change anything. So now we just need to restart this thing again. And that is configured properly. Now it's just cat, that thing on top. Not cat, but tail. So we want to tail that. And that's actually perfect, I think. Is it complete? No, it's not. So we need to say tail n plus 30. No. Okay, so tail n 30. Is 30 too much? I think so. Maybe just 20. Clear. Okay. sudo tail n20. So that way we get the interface too. So that's all the info we wanted, and we can just take a screenshot out of it. So screenshot, that is our full DNS mask config right here. That is all that I needed to configure, but I also needed to understand it, so that's different. DNS mask, what? Wait a minute, I lost it. Select area to grab, interface right here, and call that DNS mask completed. Yeah, so that is done for the A record. Also, I should test it, but for now I think I'm done for today. So let's just, first of all, machine, take a snapshot, and call this one DNS masquerade. How do you type masquerade? I don't know. Let's just call it DNS mask completed. Victory achieved. And then I'm gonna save the state, and that's gonna be all for today, folks. We're done. That was a lot. That was hard for my brain, but we're done. Almost in a single file. That is impressive. Here, just save the state. Yeah, nothing changed, nothing been changed. And I will need to reboot this machine regardless to verify if the changes have been made, but for today I'm just tired. No energy drink can have me continue working on that for today. It's been a long day working on that. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, and if you want to see other streams in the future, you can leave a comment below the video once it's published. Or yeah, and don't forget to subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, you know. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much for being subscribed to this channel. I know it wasn't the most exciting video, but it's something I had to do for an assignment, and I really appreciate you being there for this assignment. On that note, stay awesome, see you later, bye bye.